What a move from Tesla today, especially after yesterday's earnings report. We got another 20-point move in continuum today. Absolutely blew it out of the water. One of the best days that Tesla has had in a long time. Today, I want to discuss where it can go from here. Does it have even further, or are we looking ideally for a pullback to grab up that low bounce point and then take it higher upwards to 70 plus? Or, hey, does the market bring us back down? All in all, I'm seeing bullish signs for continuation into the election and potentially how next week pans out. We have a lot of our tech earnings reporting from the Googles, the Amazons, the Meta, the Microsoft. So we still got, as I like to say, our head on a swivel about can we go higher or do one of these earnings pull us back? But for right now, we want to look for pullback, long opportunities, pullback call opportunities if you're trading options. And we want to stay bullish for right now until we get the signs of any bearish sentiment. Now, as a disclaimer, this is not financial advice. I'm using my own experience from this. I'll explain some of the things towards the end of what happened with Tesla, a momentum trade, as we call it, how to maybe trade those earnings plays when we have that bullish momentum, how to look at it when it pulls back, all those things coming forth. I want to keep you short, sweet, to the point. As a reminder, if you haven't met me, if I haven't met you, welcome to the channel. My name is Dr. B. I'm a holistic life and business coach and strategist for entrepreneurs and thought leaders. Been an entrepreneur for the past 8 years. Have built a couple other businesses in the Turo space, Airbnb space, but primarily have been in coaching and consulting. Was a former pharmacist, turned entrepreneur, undergrad in chemistry. So I've had that traditional route into entrepreneurship. And I just want to resonate with you as my thought leaders, my people that want to learn this skill set. And if you have any questions about myself, put it down below in the comments. But anyways, without further ado, let's jump into it today and get right down to business. All right. So here we go. As always, I like to start on my channel more specifically and with any of my clients or community members inside of Leverage University, link down below, that we have our fear and greed index. So I always want to keep a sentiment or a monitor of how the market's reacting to not only the data, but the earnings reports. Right now, we're still sitting in a really healthy stance of greed, where the market can continue higher back into extreme greed, back into greed. The market has a bullish sentiment. It's still continuing on the upside. All right. Something I want to look at as well is the put to call option ratio. So you can see this chart right here. When we have typically a close to a 1 point ratio here, that is when you want to maybe consider a little bit more bearish nature, where it's shifting over to the bears and the put option side. When we're down here in the low end of the ranges, you can see at the most bullish point of 2024 in July, we were at the low point of about 0.6 to 0.7. And you can see where we're standing right now at 0.6 to 0.7. Okay, so we still have bullish nature that can go higher. We can take out new all-time highs, which is still wild to think about. But hey, got to trade the market that we're in right now, not trade the future predictions that we have. Keep your head on a swivel. There is an opportunity for a black swan event. If you did not hear my previous videos on those black swan events, just type it in on the channel and understand exactly what that is. All right, so there's our fear and greed index. Let's jump into the talk of the town. Tesla soars 22% on the day after a decade, over a decade on Musk's 2025 growth projection. Now, there's a lot of projections on this wild number, which, hey, I'm not throwing it out of the water. We've seen Chipotle. We've seen other stocks go to 1,000, 2,000 plus Amazons before they stock split, things of that nature. So I wouldn't rule it out. We just need to, Elon needs to just keep his head right focused of where he is, still being Elon, right? Making sure that Tesla is continuously growing, staying ahead of the game, keeping investors and shareholders active, still trying to keep the Tesla brand and more specifically their products in people's hands and behind the wheel. All right. So all that's looking forward. And as Tesla expands its product line and it starts being injected into normal day life, then, hey, this could take off. All right. So keeping Tesla in the back. If you are a Tesla shareholder, amazing job today. If you're a TSLL, the leverage version of Tesla, which is at a less expensive price, if you didn't know that, you're more than welcome to grab those shares up if you see Tesla is in a bullish nature and you may not have the capital to purchase the amount of Tesla shares that you actually want. All right. So here's a couple other things. Interesting. Short Amazon and Apple as they head into earnings season. That is a very interesting headline right there. But we will not pay attention to news and headlines. It's typically flipping the script. But I could see some things I could see some things shaking up as we go into the charts next about some of these earnings maybe shocking us a little bit more. We've seen it before where Meta's had good earnings, guidance has been low, pulled the stock back down, right? We do have Apple sitting at all-time highs at that 230 mark. Does earnings pull us back and then we ride higher? Who knows? We shall see. All right, so let's jump into the charts here, and I want to jump into Tesla first and just look at this astronomical day that Tesla had. So if you want to know what platform I use, I personally use Webull. I do trade on Robinhood a little bit as well. I have a long-term brokerage in Charles Schwab, but primarily I use Webull. So those links will be down below if you want to grab up some free shares and understand how this platform works. This is my custom setup. All right, so I have my main chart layout here, have my 6 charts, my options chart right here, my crypto, and I can go all the way across and move everything around as you see. So I've set all these charts up custom for my research and trading style. Okay. So here we go. Here's Tesla. It was sitting down here at 210 right before their earnings. And typically when earnings season happens, it could go either way. Right. But one interesting thing is the event was pretty good, right? There was new, it was exciting, but investors saw it as lackluster. Now, was this a flip the script black swan event, drive the stock price back down so you can pick it up because maybe the the robot, the Robovin, the Robotaxi were actually really good. And hey guys, let's pick this up at a low. We don't know as retail investors, but hey, if you got some insider news, great for you. All right. But 210 blew it out of the water. A lot of people just got shaken out of their short position. If you were thinking that Tesla was just going to tank, right? Hey, I don't know what to tell you, but I actually wanted it to pull back. I actually wanted Tesla to pull back and have some type of miss. You know, guidance was a little bit low, a little bit concerned, so I could pick up even more down here and pick up even more extremely long call options. But hey, we're now back all the way at 260 already. All right. So Tesla is an absolute wild bull, as I tell my clients and community members, and it can go either way and you can make a lot of money. But also if you do not know how to trade it and watch it and learn the charts, hey, I'm just saying, keep your wrists tight with Tesla. All right. But study it for sure. There's a lot of psychology into it. A lot of manipulation, but manipulation potentially in a positive direction for a lot of shareholders. All right, so let's jump into the levels here. All right, so Tesla went from 210 to 260. I'm going to jump on a 2-hour chart, and I want you to watch this level on Tesla. I'm going to mark out the levels live here. So I've got 251. There was a key break right there. I've got 257 as well that I like, that I just kind of want to watch how it reacts at these levels coming back down. The strategy I'm personally using is I'm really not trying to short Tesla unless we break back below 251 personally. If we break back below 251, maybe you could look for that acceleration back down into that 240 level and ultimately this 235 level that I have marked off. We did not retest this 235 level that a lot of investors were looking for at open. But when Tesla gets moving, it has any positive sentiment, you give any Tesla bull any type of positive news, it's just game over as far as trying to short it. It's just on a momentum train and it's gone. All right. So do you see this retest level at 235? If any type of way we can get a pullback to 235 or even potentially this pre-market high reject right here at 240. All right. So these are the two levels or the zone that I'm really looking for right in this 240 to 240. So I'm going to mark this right here and just a green level there. So I'm just watching these. This a little bit more risk right here, trying to bounce Tesla with calls at this level up here. 251. Still, I want it back down here if possible. Otherwise, you can take or try to take short put scalps if you would like. Just make sure you keep your wrists very tight. Keep your profit taking on point. All right. So other than that, we can look at the RSI, and with Tesla, for my experienced investors, y'all know sometimes Tesla's RSI doesn't even make a difference. Now, if we look over here, last time Tesla had a 4-hour RSI, let's go into even a daily, right? 4-hour RSI right here at close to 90. It took Tesla about a week to begin pulling back. It just consolidated up at that level. And then there was a black swan event, the market pullback, whatever it was, maybe this election, who knows, right? But pull back from that high of 265 all the way back down to 230. So this is the type of reaction a lot of investors are looking for, is this deep pullback back to 230, right? And then bounce it to retest the high and take it out. All right. So that is the ultimate game plan, the most ideal game plan. And that's all I've got to say about Tesla. Keep it on watch. It is on an absolute train. Now, on the upside, where can we see Tesla going if for some reason that it continues to hold above this gap fill? All right. Now, the concern would be if Tesla gets back below 235 for some random event, then we could pick up the lows. But at that point, it's like, man, it's just going to chop in this zone again. Investors have been waiting a while for Tesla to break back above 270 and take it out to go back to 300. Last time that happened, we were back in 2023 in the summer. Okay, so it is a possibility. We'll see what happens. Maybe a presidential candidate pushes that nature and continues Tesla in a bullish nature without any real big pullback. All right. Let's jump in SPY and why I've got this red line marked as November 5th. That is election day. So I just wanted to keep that on my chart personally, just to watch out for it. One thing I'm watching out for SPY is that it reclaimed and bounced off of this retest of 575. All right, 575. And we have reclaimed 577. That was a very key level. You see this low right here. If I highlight a little bit more to bring it back out. Right there, that 577, 578. Now, I have 578 marked simply because that is 5,800 on SPX. All right, but 577 was a very key level for us to reclaim. And you can see on my daily chart, we are sitting right on the 20-day moving average with a nice hammer candle that closed the day. I could clearly see us finishing off the week positive, starting the new week for next week, heading into some key earnings, just staying bullish and pushing up to new highs. And especially if some of our earnings reports come in very, very bullish, then we've got continuation up until about a 2 to 3 point move above the most recent highs. I've got about 588 to 590 as the next upside level, and we shall see if we get there. All right. So definitely this move right here, I could definitely see us retesting the high, especially with this hammer candle, is reclaiming 581. Okay, if we can reclaim 581, that'd be a very key level that we can mount above right here at 581. You see that close there and then push back up into 585. So I'll look for that tomorrow in our community in live trading for my Leverage University members and see if we can turn this candle and open up and hold above that 581 level and then continue that bullish nature to see if we can hold above 581, take calls up. All right, to finish off the week. All right, you can flip short potentially if there's any type of signs of weakness towards that 586 for a short scalp if you push directly into that level potentially. All right, so right now, staying bullish, still forming higher lows, and this trend continues, right? This trend continues, all right? QQQ, same outlook here. You can see right on that daily 20, right on that daily 20 at 589. Beautiful bounce today at 589. If we lose 589 and close below with a 30-minute confirmation, maybe even an hourly confirmation candle for those that know what that means, then we can come down and come back down to 586. We need to hold up 586. All right. Pushing up into the higher end of the ranges, I can see us. We're kind of forming a little bit of a bullish flag. It's a little ugly, but if we form higher lows here and we start to take out this high of 496 and mount above, I could see us squeezing potentially into that 500 level, but we would need some help from some of our Mag 7 or our healthcare sector, finance sector, whatever it might be, to continue more strongly. All right. IWM has been lagging behind a little bit, but every time IWM lags behind, it seems to just come out of the blue and just sprint back to highs. Okay. So IWM, it's been consolidating right here at this 218 level, which is forming a higher low from that 216. And we could mount above this 218. If you get back above 221, that is the level I would look for IWM to break back above and continue forward. So you could wait for that 221. I would keep any starter positions on calls, right? Or if you trade anything else, maybe you trade shares or equity, keep that stop loss tight below 218. You can see this mountain above that 218, 219, and then pushing above 221 to push back into some of these highs. You can begin taking profits along the way around 223, and then ultimately 225, 226. Okay, so essentially be reclaiming this whole level like that. So IWM not looking bad. It just needs some volume behind it. If I put a trend line break here, it is kind of breaking out of that downtrend, as you see there. Break, retest, form a higher low, and then come out of that like that. All right, so I actually like this chart. It just needs some momentum behind it to break back above that 221. Keep that on watch for the remainder of the week and into potentially the beginning of next week. All right. A couple other notable mentions. We've got Amazon, Microsoft, Meta. All those have earnings next week, so keep those on watch. Google. I've been really eyeing Google lately. It's just been getting negative news. I've been telling my community that I actually want Google lower so I can take some real long calls on it. Very similar to what I was doing on Tesla. I think personally, depending on how Google goes, it could go either way. You could look at a straddle or a strangle on it if you like to do those, meaning buying a call option and a put option if you like to trade before earnings. But I definitely could see Google just shocking folks either direction and then ripping back up to the upside. It's been very, very silent as of late. All right. Microsoft building really nicely here, has had some positive AI news, some partnerships. I could see Microsoft definitely, if it follows this bullish trend, right, definitely could mount above this 220 level and then continue higher back to 440, not 220, thinking IWM, 420, and then mount back to 440 to retest and then try to take out that 440. All right, Amazon, loving Amazon, but it's been also getting some negative news. I really don't like it chopped up in here in this range, but I never bet on Amazon personally. Again, I would love a lot of these tech stocks to pull back heavier so we can add back in a little bit more, but this AI run, this partnership run, this tech run online space is just absolutely taken off. So I don't want to bet against it necessarily. I would just love for a pullback, a healthy one to grab things back in. Meta been short-term weak, as you can see, forming lower highs here, mounting above this 260. Had a nice bounce today, but still remaining below this 20-day moving average, but sitting right in a support range of 565. So do want to pay attention to this level as it potentially can reclaim maybe back above this 573 level and then push back above 583 back to highs, and Meta's back in, good graces here. So it's just taking a nice little cool off. Meta's been absolutely strong. Zuckerberg been keeping his mouth shut, staying out of this political race, and the stock has been showing strength because of that into their earnings season. NVDA, okay, NVIDIA is absolutely on a bullish train. You can see here that it mounted back above 140. That was a key reclaim of NVIDIA after it pushed down with that nice pullback on the market at 137. Still held these higher lows on this trend line. I can see NVIDIA taking back off to retest the highs and maybe taking it out to 150 plus. Again, keep your eyes on QQQ and SPY to make sure that those are still holding up strength and the market's still holding up strength to give it that boost. All right. So watch for a reclaim of 141 on NVIDIA and see if we can get that nice bullish push. Okay. So watch for that reclaim of 141. And then you can look at call options up to retest for about a $4 to $5 move, potentially $3 to $4 move plus. All right. Now, tomorrow's Friday. If you're watching at the time of this video, it's Thursday evening. So make sure that you're managing your risk on a Friday. Try to grab next week contracts. NVIDIA does not have earnings until the end of November. So you do have a little time to still trade some of the semiconductors without earnings interfering with them just yet. So I do like those trades in the semiconductor sector just because those option contracts are still relatively affordable with a low implied volatility. All right, let's take a pause right there. If this is serving you, hit the like button really quick. It's getting a really extensive, especially for some of my beginners that are like, I don't know what he's talking about. Please make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe button. Go check out the beginner videos that I've made on this channel so you can understand the lingo, understand what I'm talking about. If you want one-on-one mentorship, or if you want to be inside of our community, live trading, grab some of our trading trainings that are inside of our Discord. Again, the link is down below to join Leverage University. All right. I want to get us out of here. So let's go over maybe a couple more. I know a lot of folks want to know about Palantir, just consolidating, bull flagging back up, right? If the market continues, Palantir is going to continue. It is getting a little overextended. If you have shares, right, mitigate those shares, not mitigate, manage those shares appropriately, manage your downside, keep a stop loss, and lock in those profits. All right. UPS had great earnings today, right? But definitely pulled back for sure. But nice performance from UPS for earnings beat. That is one to maybe keep on watch for a pullback. If it settles back in, could rotate back up to the highs. All right. GE, still want to keep GE on watch. Had pretty good earnings, pulled back. I think there was some slight misguidance. Don't quote me on that. You can put it down below, but still want to watch GE. Solid company. 175, potentially holding 175 or reclaiming 180, holding above 180 and then pushing back into this gap fill. Definitely needs some help from the market as it's been pushing into all-time highs, but I do like this break retest of 575 and then holding that to mount back and push into new all-time highs. Okay. Got SMCI on watch as well as it's consolidating down here and its earnings approaching. Definitely want to keep an eye on this potentially as it's trying to build up some momentum, but is this a slap in the face here to pull lower and then we rip higher? Right? Not sure, right? But anytime a company is silent and a company like SMCI that's had a little bit of faltering, it was overextended, it was running really nice and smooth here, but then it just took off and now it's settling back in to really form what it was supposed to do if you look at this trend line like that. All right. Not as clean, but definitely could look at that trend line right there and see that it is holding that trend line with a higher low, mounting above that $40 to $41 level is really where I like it. 46 to 47 is mid-range, but I like that 40 to 41 level if it can hold it. All right. With that being said, I think that is all I had for today. So thank you all so much for the support as of recently. I'll keep these videos coming. Make sure you join the community. Make sure you check out Leverage University, get inside of our Discord, get everything that we got going on here. I'll show you what it looks like very quickly. All right. So you can kind of see here that it is a holistic community. All right. Holistic community, meaning I'm a life coach, business coach. And then also we have entrepreneurial advice, support, but we do have our trading floor if that is something that you are more specifically interested in, where we have all of our trade ideas, our trade plans, long-term shares, what we're looking at for the future, and to make sure that everyone is serviced powerfully. With that being said, until next time, I will see you all in the next video. Peace.